Everyone. We're going to now go over the second hindrance of the mind, and the second hindrance of the mind is actually anger. Okay, so anger prevents you from reaching or from being in a very calm state of mind. All right. So what does anger do to you? Every time you're angry, you actually lost control over the situation, and you end up doing things or saying things which you may regret afterwards. So the things you've said or done may create feelings of guilt because you've done something you may regret. It may create feelings of sadness because you've hurt people maybe after you said something or done something, and anxiety and all these things kind of affect you afterwards in a very negative way, even if you are the person who's been angry. So every time you are angry, you end up doing things which you regret afterwards. All right, and sometimes acts done out of anger possibly can never be repaired, or they can be repaired, but it's quite difficult. Okay, because let's say someone gets angry and it actually turns into something very physical, so you end up hitting someone. It can be very bad. All right, so being angry actually messes up your life in very simple terms. Okay, so this is why it's very important to keep a check every time you are angry. Now anger is not all bad also. Okay, for example, every time someone feels beaten up by life, let's say, okay, you feel weak, or sometimes when someone tries to oppress you in a way that they're trying to be rude towards you, you can actually use anger in this case as a shield. Okay, so anger is not all negative. It can be actually quite positive. For example, myself, sometimes when I'm in certain situations and people are being aggressive towards me, what I do is, if I'm feeling like some sort of anger within me because of the things happening to me, I actually use it as a shield, so I don't react towards what's happening, towards the external things, but the anger kind of becomes like a shield, and it prevents you not to react. If for example you have difficulty visualizing what I'm saying, it's as if someone is, we're going to use an analogy, all right? It's as if someone is punching you and you're blocking the punches, let's say, all right? You're not being in the victim mode, but at the same time you're saying, oh, is that all you can do? Or you keep telling yourself, it does nothing to me, I can actually take more than that. So that's another way of approaching anger, which is actually healthy, because you need to realize one thing: it's us human beings who have actually tagged certain feelings as being good and certain feelings as being bad. For example, we all say that love is the thing, right? Love is very positive, but is it? Overly being in a state of love can actually make you quite vulnerable in the physical life right now, isn't it? You can get manipulated or abused easily. So we need to review the way we look at things. Okay, not all things are good and not all things are bad. So even anger can actually be something very positive if you use it in a good way. All right. So the second hindrance of the mind was actually about anger and keeping a check on anger when we are angry, because it may make us do things we may regret afterwards. All right. So every time you feel that you're very angry and you may end up doing something that you may regret, the wise thing to do is to take you out of the situation, go to a quiet place, wait for the anger to calm, because anger doesn't stay with you for a long time, okay, unless it's you holding on to the anger. Wait for it to calm down, and then you approach the situation again and you explain your feelings in a very neutral way. Okay, because now dumping your feelings inside because you're not supposed to act when you're angry, that's not also a good thing, because that's repression now. So you wait for the anger to calm down. You can do some breathing exercises, you can isolate yourself, walk in the garden, wait for it to calm down, and then you explain your feelings again, but in a more balanced way. All right, so that was the second hindrance of the mind, which was anger. See you very soon.